This book, as of this moment, is the best cookbook in the world. Hi guys, and welcome to GTR Fitness with me, Coach Gary. Now it's time to do a review of something really awesome. So guys, you know from my main channel Gary G Reviews that I did one video about Greg before and I spoke very highly of him. I watched some of his recipes and I got his cookbook so I can do a review because guys, I truly believe that this book, as of this moment, is the best cookbook in the world. Yeah, I'm definitely not kidding here guys. So I have to say right off the bat, what makes this book so good? And what did I make of the book? So I'm going to tell you. First of all, we have to get something super important out of the way. So the principles that Greg has and the principles that I also have, and that's why I'm so passionate about this review in general. You know, I just want to let you guys know how awesome this is. These principles I discovered on my own throughout my life, starting since I was a kid till now, and they're just the key guys to sustain a great physique, to always eat delicious stuff, and to have the required nutrients to not only be fit, but of course build a great physique. So, what are those principles, guys? Those are low calorie, high volume, satiating, delicious, nutritious, easy to make. I just want to say I did watch some of the other reviews of the book. Gordon Ramsay was put into the mix because his book is cheaper. But let me tell you something, and I cannot stress this enough. Gordon Ramsay is not a fitness professional. He is not bodybuilder. He is not a nutritionist. He is just a chef that likes to make all those fancy dinners and just dishes in general. And what he wants to teach you is how to make pretentious, complicated recipes basically that will not build great physique, that will not teach you anything about nutrition, anything at all of that nature. And through the years of experience, Greg did get to the truth of all of this, and like I've said, is following these principles. The food that you eat, if you want to be healthy and fit, has to be nutritious because you have to get everything in that you need, the fats, the carbs, the protein. It has to be easy to make because let's face it, we are all very busy. It has to be healthy enough because who doesn't want to be healthy? That's kind of the point. They have to be low calorie and high volume so you can eat more but with less calories, and that way you can be also satiated, so you don't reach for the foods that you usually want to reach for. So my experience with the book, guys, I made the French toast and it was, well, my favorite thing out of all the things that I made. Previously I made the ice cream, that was also very good. There's some ingredients, guys, in the book that maybe you will not find in your country, like for instance the fiber yam. If I buy that, I will be broke. So instead of this, I don't mind personally to replace it with stevia. We have a very good stevia here in Bulgaria that's liquid, and you can also mix it with erythritol. Erythritol doesn't have any glycemic index and doesn't have any calories, and basically just passes through your system. And when it mixed with stevia, something like closer to sugar taste does form. So they are both 0 calories and they are both 0 on the glycemic index. No calories, no problem, just like Greg says. So basically, guys, even if you don't have some of the things that he's mentioning in the book, some syrups, you can always replace them. There are so many options these days. Like for instance, I have a ketchup that is 22 calories per 100 grams. I have protein tortillas instead of regular tortillas that are 143 calories per piece basically. And I also weigh everything beforehand because, the label says 40 grams, but it's actually 42 grams. So instead of being 134 calories, it becomes like 142 calories, stuff like that. So don't be like intimidated by anything that is in the book in terms of ingredients. You can always replace it. Greg does put some links for our convenience. You can click on the links, buy stuff from different sites. If that's convenient for you, you can do that. Other than this, in all countries now you can buy egg whites and bread to make the French toast. But anyway, let me get to the things that are more new to me that I made. So I finally made the famous French toast. Now here in Bulgaria we do it just the regular way with the whole eggs and with salt. So ours is salty. A lot of people even fry it with butter, which is terrible. So don't do this. Now what I did is to use a low fat butter, which we do have here, and I placed just 4 grams of it, which is like 8 calories, and I just mixed it into the whole mixture with the eggs. I pour stevia, I put cinnamon, everything how is it in the recipe. First time I did it with whole eggs just because I didn't have egg whites, and I do need to get my whole eggs in because that is my current plan. It just includes eggs, the whole eggs. I poured natural strawberry syrup on it. That's once again sweetened with stevia. That's what I can get here. It has like 15 calories per 200 milliliters. Is almost nothing. So I put a bit of that on, and I have to tell you guys, it's delicious. It's one of the most delicious types of breakfast that you can have. Here in Bulgaria, we are used to, pancakes, buchtichki, which is like fluffy dough that are similar to donuts, but not really. They are hollow inside. Mekici, which is, basically fried dough. And those things are so delicious. You cannot fathom the world without them at one point, well, before you can get to your healthy way of living. But something like Greg's French toast could totally replace any of that. So you're not only getting something that is better for you, it's lower calorie, but you're also getting a replacement, and basically you're satisfying your sweet tooth. French toast, I would rate it, you can say 10 out of 10. It's awesome. Now, in terms of the carbs that I'm getting with that, because there's 4 slices of bread, you can also lower this down if you like. You can do whatever you want. There's no rules in Greg's kitchen. How he said, the point is that you can do so many things that are more convenient for you. You can change things up a bit in a way that's gonna benefit your plan and your calorie intake. So Greg wrote it with a particular quantity in mind, but you can always tweak those things. So that's what I also did with the apple goop. So the apple goop, I saw everybody like doing it waterly, and I was like, no, in the name of Greg, I have to do this right. So what did I do? Well, I didn't have xanthan gum, but I put a bit of a casein and whey blend in, like 15 grams of that. And I put half of the apples, so the total was 248 calories or something like that. I just did it for me, the quantity that I can eat according to my plan and my calories. Put it into the microwave, got it out. It was delicious. It's just great. I mean, if you love strudel or anything that is with apples, this can also kill your sweet tooth. I didn't really want to eat anything sweet whatsoever after it. I was just very happy with it, and this bowl that I made is not small at all. So it's a great way to get your apples in if you need to, if you want to eat anything with apples, but if it contains dough or something else that you're used to, you can just replace it with this kind of a meal. So the apple goop or the apple poop, it's just great, and I couldn't recommend it enough, guys. Now, what else I wanted to really do is the pudding. I love pudding, anything that has the word pudding in it. And I just love things that are like cream. So I bought almost zero fat cottage cheese, but you can also do that with Isvara. It's super low fat, very high in protein, so it's almost pure protein, almost no carbs as well. So you can replace it with that because Isvara is like a bit more higher in nutrition and a bit less in calories than most of the cottage cheese out there. Now this cottage cheese was like 62 calories per 100 gram because it was low fat. But I'm just saying this is also something that you can switch. And I bought a very awesome pudding, only 40 calories per package. I put the protein in, I used the food processor. He says a blender, but of course, once again, if the food processor does the same job, you can do it with the food processor, no problem. I made the whole thing and I split it into two, so half of it is going to be like 210, 20, 30 calories. And it's just so thick and so delicious. You can make it a bit more or less thick if you like. I personally used 0.1% cow's milk because that is 29 calories per 100 milliliters. So for me, that suits me the best. And I'm not really fond of any vegan types of milks. They just don't go very good with my body, and they're super expensive here. So once again, you can replace that. But the taste, guys, the taste, I mean, there's no freaking pudding that I ever tried that is from the regular pudding that you can buy anywhere that is as delicious as this was. This satiates all my cream cravings that I could have. And the taste is going to depend a lot on the protein that you're using, so make sure you're using a protein that you really, really like. I cannot get rice, his protein, that's impossible here, but I can get this blend that I'm getting is very good as well. So with this cream, you're getting a lot of protein and you're getting just amazing treat. I found myself thinking about it after I ate it. I was like, there's like the rest of the pudding is in the fridge. No, I'm not touching it. I'm not going over my calories. But I'm kind of obsessed with that pudding. So have this in mind. Some of the recipes in Greg's book are kind of addictive to eat. So they're that good. You don't need the regular crab that you can eat. You can replace it with just the alternative ingredients and have amazingly delicious meals. So it's not like you are, oh my gosh, making such a sacrifice if you're eating like fitness-based meal instead of the regular one. No, you are making yourself a great freaking treat and you are doing yourself a favor. Let me tell you that, because I'm someone that has a very big appetite. So for me to stay lean and to just be fit in general is not an easy task. So through my course of what I've learned through the years, I also got to the same truth that Greg has with this book. The food has to be high volume, so you don't feel this insane hunger like Stephanie Baltimore. You have to have low calorie options. You have to get your protein in. You have to make everything so fast as possible. And you just have to enjoy your meals, and those meals are enjoyable. The other things that I did here were the protein pancakes that are made with bread, and that was pretty interesting to me. I was like, I'm basically replacing flour with bread, so how that's gonna go? They are very delicious, guys, I have to say. I put cherries in instead of strawberries or blueberries just because it's what I had. It's entirely optional, and they became very thick and very delicious. If I have to compare the pancakes with the French toast, I would choose Greg's French toast, but they're both so awesome. They're really delicious. In terms of calories, you can make them both the same, depends on how you make them. It's just such a dessert. I can imagine if you take the pancakes and if you spread the pudding on them, you're going to have a cake. Oh, it's so awesome, guys. So you can say the pancakes are like 8 out of 10. And the French toast is 10 out of 10. The cream is 10 out of 10. I mean, the pudding. Apple Goop, I would say it's 8 out of 10. It's great, it's amazing. But just, it just depends on what you want to eat altogether, what you prefer to eat in general. That's why it's not my ultimate favorite thing in that kind of a way, but it's so awesome and I'm still thinking about it. I am. It's not like the pudding, but I'm still thinking about it. I really want to make it again. The ice cream is great. I also have some ideas of how to improve it in terms of calories. But like I've said, guys, if you understand nutrition, if you understand how to mix things, if you understand how to make them as delicious as humanly possible, you can take all the recipes that Greg has, remake them how it suits you best, because this book is going to teach you how products could be mixed together and you're going to have more ideas for yourself when you try all of those things. You can go exactly by the book if you like, but what I mean is that this book will teach you the principles of this amazing way of being in shape your whole life. So it's totally worth it, guys. I know that a lot of people complain that it's extremely expensive, but this is a product of the whole life experience of Greg. And like he says, it's not easy to maintain, especially his physique, and you have to know what to eat. It has to be delicious for you. Diets do not need to be torturous. I can't stress this enough myself, because I was talking to some of my friends and they're like, oh my gosh, chicken, oh my gosh, salad and broccoli. And I'm like, guys, you don't need to torture yourself like this. I love those ways of eating. I mean, I love salad and I love chicken, I love turkey, but that's not end all and be all. If you want to mix things up to make a different kind of pizza that's, less calories but with so many good stuff in it, you can just pick the other options. You can pick protein, cheese. You can do so many things. You can make your own dough. But Greg did it in the best way possible. You just buy the products, mix them together, and voila. Buy the products, mix them together, and voila. So that's basically it, guys. He is not kidding when he says that this is the ultimate cookbook, especially for someone that has to eat in a certain way to build a physique and to not go crazy, to not have cravings, to not go like overboard, to not think about pizza all the time. Just name it. I mean, I am not the easiest person to sustain any kind of a shape. The thing that helps me is the determination, the appreciation of my physique, myself, the respect that I have for my own body and health. And that's more important to me than just going crazy on some foods. Willpower is something that you do have to sustain, and what better way for you to actually have your cake and eat it too. I created also a protein cake that's absolutely amazing. I'm going to do it here on the channel very soon. It has like 190 calories a piece, and the piece is like super thick and huge, and it's delicious. And people that never ever had such a thing, they cannot differentiate it from a regular cake. Well, unless from the fact that it's even more delicious. It is. So when you get to that certain level, when you understand how food can mix, how you can optimize your time in the kitchen as well, you can make meal prep the easiest thing, and it's going to be enjoyable and great. You're going to learn so much about nutrition, especially for girls and guys that want to change their habits to get a better understanding of nutrition. I don't see how there's any equivalent of this book. Now, for instance, when I'm going to do my book in the future and my own original recipes, I'm going to keep the same principles, because as I said, it took a long while to get to here. It took so much dedication, so many I tried this, I tried that types of diets, until you just go crazy and you finally figure it out that you can mix foods and make them big, voluminous, but at the same time satiating, and in the same time getting your protein in the same time you being happy, in the same time you having your sweet tooth satiated, and building the physique of your dreams. So I do recommend this book, and the key to success when it comes to having your cake and eat it too, so to speak. So that is it, guys, my review of Greg's ultimate anabolic cookbook. Yes, it is. Thank you very much for watching. You can check the links down below if you'd like to support me. My fitness site for coaching, GTR Fitness. Until next time with me, Coach Gary G. Wonder Woman. Salute.